Wall Street ends up for the day as bad job numbers come in. Lack of jobs created in the month of January. Joe Biden reacts to it by saying more stimulus, bigger stimulus, go home or go bold. And the big news across the board is the stimulus package was passed today with step one, the reconciliation. The tow truck has passed over the finish line. Now the tow hitch will be worked on shortly thereafter. And what's in the tow hitch? I go over that in this recording. Meantime, his chief economist fires back at false narratives about the economy, saying you need a lot of stimulus and stop worrying about the deficit. Great news elsewhere, as a $1,000 bond could be coming to your baby. Not pregnant yet? Well, there's 15 minutes left to this video. I have some time, you have some time, let's get ready to rock and roll. Just not on camera, please. Thank you for joining me on Afternoons LALATE. Hey, good afternoon, everybody. This is Afternoons LALATE on a big update of third stimulus check and third stimulus package. From Wall Street to Main Street, from my home to your home. Big developments on financial news only on this channel, the most comprehensive financial news channel there is, LALATE, with 24 hours of broadcasting around the clock and the most interactive. And I'm next interactive with you on Chuck right after this. So join me right after this if you're not busy with something else. In this video, I have so much great news for you because finally the reconciliation was finished, and that means next step, stimulus. If you have not subscribed, make sure you subscribe. This is the most comprehensive channel there is out there, and there's a lot of stimulus bills, not just one. You need to make sure you're ready to pounce and get all of them. Also, like this video. And hit that alert button on the front of this channel so you get an alert when a new video goes live, which is about a few minutes after this one's finished with What the Chuck. And finally, if you've not become a member, consider becoming a member. Purple Hawk, Purple Power, or Calcino VIP. The link to become a member is in the chat and also at the top of the description. So much happening today. The big news as you started this afternoon is Joe Biden reacts and says, thank you for holding the party line. We're finally getting a stimulus package finished. I'll be detailing to you what happened today, what will be happening over the next few days, and what Joe Biden's reaction was to today's events and the new economic numbers. Then I'll be turning to his economists, and his economists fuming back at the call about deficit spending, saying this is not the time to be thinking about the deficit, this is the time to send out stimulus. Big news from Johnson & Johnson. As they prepare to send out a vaccine, as they apply for emergency authorization, I'll have those details as well. And the great news as the FDA now confirms that they have sent out a task force to prepare for the variant. And then that baby of a bill. The Booker baby bill bond bill. $1,000 a baby. Oh, so much happening today. I'm so excited for you. Let's get to the breaking news. The breaking news as you start today is that you're getting a $1,400 stimulus check. Individuals, $2,800 married couple, $3,200 adult dependents, and $1,400 child. That's because today the reconciliation bill, the tow truck that pulls the tow hitch, passed over the finish line. It was passed. The tow truck, the reconciliation, was passed today. It was a partisan vote. Republicans all against, Democrats all in favor, and Harris voting the tiebreaker win. Now, what does that mean for you? That means that what's on the tow hitch, the $1.9 trillion stimulus package bill, which I'll be going over shortly in this video, is going to be dragged over the finish line. How soon is it going to be dragged over the finish line? Over the next 2 weeks, no more. Nancy Pelosi confirms to news today. Starting this coming Monday, they're going to start working on the provisions of which 22 have been detailed on this channel. Now, the provisions are anchored to the tow truck, so it's not like they can just add a whole new basket of mangoes in there when they have a basket of papayas or swap out papayas for mangoes. They can't. But they can modify how many mangoes are in the basket of mangoes. So if you think you have a position to make very clear to elected officials, now is the time for Purple Power to step up the follows this channel and start the hashtags campaign. Then, what else is in there? I'll be getting to that in a second. The other good news today came from Joe Biden, who said, you know what, I'm not going to sit back and do little or nothing. I'm going to go big and bold. And he referred to the jobs report today. A new jobs report refers to how many jobs were created in the month of January in the United States. Was horrible. 49,000 new jobs created in the entire United States in the month of January. The entire United States, not one city, the entire United States. And of that, only 6,000 new jobs for private sector, meaning the rest were all public sector jobs. That's literally almost no jobs. We saw the jobs reports. Only 6,000 private sector jobs were created. At that rate, it's going to take 10 years to get to full employment, said Joe Biden. This is not a hyperbole. This is horrible. This is a horrible number. Wall Street expecting 50,000, 250, 350, but 6,000 private jobs? That's like nothing. I appreciate you all coming over here, but the urgency with which you were moving, this is about people's lives, not about numbers. People are really hurting. There's some consequential issues here. I'd like to be doing it with the support of Republicans, but not going to sit around and do nothing. And then Joe Biden made it clear that Joe Biden February is not Joe Biden January. I've been detailing the real change of this president in just a short period of time. The Joe Biden January president was a little bit too optimistic. He said, I'm willing to chat with everyone and see how you are. And he had chats and chats and chats, and they went nowhere. Finally, you woke him up. Janet Yellen woke him up and said, you have to do this right now. And that's what he did. He said, my preference is to work together. But if I had to choose between getting the right to American people's right now or waiting a long, lengthy negotiations, a compromise and build, that's an easy choice. I'm going to get help to American people right now. I know some in Congress think we've not done enough, but we had to move very quickly. Understand, the tow hitch pulling over the finish line cannot go any faster than it's going now because Joe Biden gave 2 weeks to the Republicans to talk his ear off, and that 2 weeks gave nothing to anyone. That's why this was not done 2 weeks ago, because he was talking to the Republicans over the last 2 weeks, and they did nothing. When asked about, is anything going to get modified in the stimulus package? Not going to get modified. Stimulus check, not changing. FPUC, not changing. He's not changing anything to make it smaller. The only thing he may modify is for rich people not to get a stimulus check, which is sort of obvious. Other than that, everything else is happening exactly as I told you. $1,400 for stimulus check for individuals, $2,800 for a married couple, $3,200 for adult dependents, $1,400 for children, and if you're on benefits, the same check for you. Meantime, the White House made very clear today they don't want to hear any more fake narratives about the deficit. Joe Biden's chief economist today came out firing on all pistons after a series of reports took aim at the policies of the administration on the economy. Well, what did White House Council of Economic Advisors member Jared Bernstein says? He basically said you have two things to choose. You can choose to do very little inflation, and then we're going to be in a nice recession for the next 35 years. Or you could do a lot of stimulation or stimulus to this economy, and at worst, maybe have a little bit of inflation at the tail end. He says at the moment, we are way below the Fed's target of 2% inflation for over a decade, so don't be worrying about inflation. Amen. He said the narrative is getting a little bit off point, but the great news is that Johnson & Johnson is ready to point you soon. Johnson & Johnson has applied for emergency authorization of its COVID vaccine. It would join Moderna and Pfizer that were approved in December. How big is this? This would help the rollout across the country. Dr. Paul Stouffer said in a statement from Pfizer, the submission for emergency authorization is the first step to ensure that we are helping people globally and putting an end to the pandemic. With our submission to the FDA, our ongoing reviews, we are working to greater urgency to make it available to the public as quickly as possible. This is part of stimulus because ultimately Joe Biden's stimulus is tied to the issue of how many doses are sent out. And those doses are also at issue with the variant. The variant, like the South African variant or the Brazilian variant. The South African, the most concerning. Over the weekend, last Saturday, I detailed for you that in the city of Baltimore, they've now identified a person with the very concerning South African variant of the COVID-19 virus. That person had not traveled. And so the push to get variant analysis is underway. And the good news is the White House has now endorsed it. Overnight, the FDA confirmed that they have now dispatched a department to deal with variants. And they're looking at several things. One, they're looking at Moderna, who will start in-person live human trials starting next month on their variant booster to battle the South African variant, and also a gene mutations therapy that will allow one boost to work against all the variants. Very, very exciting, great news. But how about some babies? Wanted some babies? Well, Cory Booker has delivered a very surprising Booker baby bond bill. And this is not the first time it was birthed. It was actually birthed in last year under the Trump administration. Did not see much of a light of day, but it's being rebirthed and is on the books now with a lot of broadband support for the baby bond bill. It's no actual laughing matter, actually. It's $1,000 bill, $1,000 bond that will be given to every newborn in the United States. And the reason you're hearing it on this channel is it's going to happen, actually. The bond is now, the bill about the bond is now supported by 15 senators, including Chuck Schumer, who's going to call for a vote. It's also supported by Kristen Gillibrand, Elizabeth Warren, Bernie Sanders, and Amy Klobuchar. What is this bill and how does it work? Let me explain the concept of it. It basically says that for every newborn in the United States, the federal government will set up a safe deposit, a savings account for that child in that child's name. $1,000 is deposited upon birth. The money cannot be withdrawn by the child until they're 18 years of age. Every year, the account adds 3% interest. You can also contribute to the account as a parent based upon your annual income all the way up to age 18. And according to Booker's math, which I have not been able to confirm, but his baby math says that that would be amounting to $50,000 by age 18. Wow. Suddenly, viewers are just, well, okay. What are you doing after this video? I don't know. What are you doing after this video? The money can be used for wealth building things, going to college, starting a business, buying a home. It's an effort to create generations of wealth and a powerful thing that have incredible effort on leveling the economic playing field. While it was a lonely bill when we first introduced it, now we have 15 senators, including the majority leader, Chuck Schumer. And basically, you can make deposits annually of up to $2,000 based upon household income. Coming up next is What the Chuck. For more information, stay informed, stay focused. Make sure you go to the first channel, subscribe, hit that alert button, like this video, and become a member. Purple Hawk, Purple Power, or Calcino VIP. Stay informed, stay focused, and stay in LA for more.